Tuesday, November 26th, the 331st day of 2024. There are 35 days left in the year. Good morning, MB. Guiding you through In the Know at K105. On Litchfield's Country Station 1039 The Moose, live online at K105.com. Via the Apple and Android smartphone apps using the SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify podcast. On Facebook, on YouTube, on the platform formerly known as Twitter. And the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. A lot to cover today. Plus, Natalie Curtis from CASA of the Heartland joins us. We'll talk about important work CASA is doing, that and a whole lot more coming up today. Here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire. It's my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's Beach. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm good.
You're looking forward to eating on Thursday. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We're counting down to the
Always,
time.
yes.
Of all the things that you think are going to be on the Thanksgiving table traditionally, what's the one you could live without the most? What's the one you go, nah, no interest in that?
Oh.
We found the impossible question.
Wow, I don't know.
So interestingly enough, 34.8% of people, almost 35, say their most disliked Thanksgiving food is the turkey. Stuffing and dressing at 2, ham at 3, sweet potatoes or yams at 4, cranberry sauce at 5. I think that people just have strong
Interesting.
opinions. Like
Yes.
they're sort of, but the least liked, does that make sense? The least liked is apple pie.
Okay.
Yeah, I think apple pie. No American says apple pie is no good.
Yeah.
You just can't do it. You
Yeah.
can not eat it, but you can't say it's no good, or we'll kick you out of the country and send you to Mexico or somewhere. He is a 5-time winner of the coveted Ohio News Hawk Award. He's the 2-time Silver Sound nominee, covering every corner of the globe: London, Budapest, Rio, Tokyo, and even Litchfield. He's Sam Gormley, and the sports. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Ralph.
How you doing?
Not too bad. How are you?
I'm doing well. Counting down to your Thanksgiving, too. You're going to have lasagna. My guess is you're going to have some bread, like a garlic bread. Surely Adele wouldn't set the table without a bread of some type.
I would assume
Is she gonna go-
something like that.
Is she going to go the endless salad route? You know, sometimes you go to the Italian restaurants and they got the salad. So does your mom throw a salad in there? She's just going to say, here's the lasagna, enjoy.
I honestly, I just know that I have to be there on Thursday.
Okay.
love it.
Well, it's just show up and be present. Experts say between 3 and 5 side dishes is usually what you include in Thanksgiving. The variety of starches and vegetables, and so I think a lot of people will be doing that. In our case, it seemed like it ends up like 10 or
Yeah.
15, or because everybody's trying to help out. Sam, today is a day where I guess actually the both of you, you get, I don't know even that you get conflicted. You're both alumnus of Western Kentucky University, but you are also fans, if you will, of the University of Kentucky. When they meet on the hardwood tonight, I guess, Miss Buckles, it's easy to know who you're cheering for. And Sam, you've got a big red hat on today.
And I got a UK shirt on. So
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
So house divided.
yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, like I'll be there tonight, so I'm gonna just wear this and just have both
That's what
on.
that's what
I
you're
like
doing.
it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, I just hope
I
both
think
teams have fun.
That's the most important part. That's not working out so well at Alabama, by the way. So, do you think the outcome will be? You think the outcome is pre-known tonight?
Meaning that Kentucky will win.
Yes.
I would be surprised if they don't.
I'd be shocked, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about shocked, but I mean, I would be surprised. I was looking to see what the spread is in this game, because that would at least maybe, okay, Kentucky by 22.5. That's probably pretty close to accurate. Maybe Kentucky by 25. But then again, it wouldn't surprise me if Western keeps it close.
It's not like in the old days being last year, when they would play down to the level of a team and just go,
Well,
just
I mean,
goof around with
last
them
time they
for
played
fun.
Western, they won by like 30. So which was the Oscar
True,
year.
But UK teams and their football teams historically have been this way too, figuring out a way to play down to their competition no matter who it is. But let's hope that's not the case tonight. And again, let's hope a safe game for both schools. Good, safe game, safe trip to Lexington and back from Bowling Green. That's what we can look forward to. Chilly and sunny before wet weather returns for today. We're going to see highs only in the 40s. We may tick 50 here between the lakes. Sunny and colder for today, high in the 40s. We're going to see another system bringing rain tomorrow evening into Thursday early. If you're headed to Louisville for Thanksgiving for any reason, you might see a snow mix with rain up there, but won't drift this far south. Mostly sunny, 49 today, increasing clouds, 36 tonight. Cloudy with afternoon or evening rain tomorrow, and a high of 51. There has been more snow in Hawaii this fall than New York City. New York City has also had very little rain. It's been extremely dry for the last 2 months. I mean, many people, I guess, don't realize that Hawaii actually gets snow. They do. Their highest peak's over 14,000 feet tall.
Okay.
So you've been above 10,000 feet over there,
Okay,
but there
yeah.
was not any snow. President Trump, 2 big legal victories yesterday. Jack Smith getting both cases thrown out or dismissed or delayed, whatever it might be, just because the Department of Justice has a policy not to prosecute sitting presidents. And then another judge, I think that signed off on that yesterday, said the American public handed down the verdict in November on his guilt or innocence. And that's pretty much all that you need to know. Biggest news headline locally today is a former Litchfield Police Department officer has been found not guilty of 2 misdemeanors in a directed verdict. 26-year-old Ty Whitaker was charged in January with 2 counts of third-degree terroristic threatening, which is a Class A misdemeanor. He faced a year in jail and I think a $500 fine. Yesterday, in his trial in a Grayson County courtroom, after a special prosecutor presented its case, his attorney requested the judge find him not guilty to a lack of evidence. The special appointed judge was from LaRue County. He agreed that there was not enough evidence to continue, thus ending the trial in a directed verdict of not guilty. That's when a judge issues a ruling that a jury should not be required to decide a case, and instead the judge will enter a verdict. So the 2 EPOs that were filed against him were previously dismissed, so found not guilty due to a directed verdict in a Grayson County courtroom yesterday. The first lottery to determine the location of medical cannabis dispensaries was held yesterday at the Kentucky Lottery Corporation in Louisville. The lottery randomly selected 36 applicants for 9 of the dispensary regions, including the Region 9 Lincoln Trail area, which is Adair, Brett, Grayson, Greene, Hardin, Hart, LaRue, Marion, Meade, Nelson, Taylor, and Washington County. So pretty big footprint. Now, before I guess let me tell you what happened. 4 of them were issued to Lincoln Trail. All 4 of them are in Hardin County. Now, I would need to look at the applications to see. It would stand to reason the largest percentage of applications came from Hardin County. So you could probably expect that through a random draw, if there are more Hardin County applications in there, they're more likely for a Hardin County application to come out. But it is a little bit surprising. My guess is that every county in the region had at least 1 application for a dispensary, which puts them in the race. But yet they draw out from the number of applicants, which were many, and all 4 just happened to be in Hardin County. One of them conveniently at Eastview, so that would be like Grayson County-esque, right? You've got one in Radcliffe, which would be Breckinridge County-esque, right? Off into Meade County-esque. You've got one in Elizabethtown, 2 in Elizabethtown, actually. So just like E-Town being the hub of regional commerce, it appears, at least for this round, will be the hub of medical cannabis as well. They're going to have another lottery, licensed lottery, but in December on the 16th, but it's just for the Bluegrass region, Fayette County only, and then the Kentuckiana region, which is Jefferson County only. So at least for now, that's how it's going to go with the licenses on the dispensary. Applicants, it's hard to be too critical, but it makes you go, okay. That's how it worked out. The man who fled police into Grayson County on Saturday night has been identified. 37-year-old Nathan Wayne Constant of Bowling Green was convicted in Butler County August of 2021 of receiving stolen property and fleeing or evading police. In Warren County in August, he was convicted of theft by unlawful taking involving an automobile, etc. So, he was arrested Saturday night on Shrewsbury Road, now known he is a person from Bowling Green, 37-year-old Nathan Wayne Constant. If you want to know what happened Saturday, if you missed the story yesterday, you can read about it at K105.com. A former sheriff charged in a judge's shooting death pleaded not guilty yesterday in the same courthouse where they worked together and where the attack occurred. One of the attorneys involved in the case, a defense attorney, actually predicted later yesterday that they will present a compelling case in his defense. Former Letcher County Sheriff Sean Mickey Steins is accused of gunning down District Judge Kevin Mullins in the judge's chambers. Mullins, who held the judgeship for 15 years, died at the scene, and Steins surrendered without incident. A grand jury indicted Steins last week on one count of murder of a public official. After the arraignment yesterday, a defense attorney, Jeremy Bartley, pointed to everybody's been wondering what led to this. Well, there was a deposition that the former sheriff gave in the days before the shooting, and Jeremy Bartley, the attorney, says it's going to be an important factor in the case. It's involving a federal lawsuit that Steins failed to adequately train and supervise a deputy who was accused of forcing a woman to have sex in Mullins' chambers in exchange for staying out of jail. So there was already a federal lawsuit going on about courthouse operations and sheriff's department operations, etc. And at least the Jeremy Bartley says it's not a single story they're going to tell. They're going to tell multiple stories that will at least provide an explanation for the actions and might be a little more revealing. A UK police investigation has led to the arrest over the weekend of a suspect accused of committing a sexual assault on campus, as well as another incident earlier this month. 21-year-old Saif Al-Kahafaji of Louisville was arrested Saturday evening by the Louisville Airport Police on a warrant issued in Fayette County. So if you've got students at UK, you might be aware of that story. Enrollment in UK's public university and in Kentucky's public university and community colleges up for the 2024 fall semester. The Council on Post-Secondary Education announced a nearly 4% increase in undergraduate enrollment at Kentucky public universities and nearly a 5% increase in community and technical college enrollment for the 2024 fall semester. We mentioned Jack Smith and what happened to him yesterday. What else do you need to know about? President talked about more tariffs yesterday, more specifically Mexico, China, Canada, etc. Flights are returning to from Lexington to New York on Delta. They will be returning May of next year. So we don't really use the Lexington airport, but in case you can find a fare that you like, you have used it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have used it recently, haven't you?
12 years ago, if that's recently.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you used it in October.
No.
What did you use, Cincinnati?
Yeah. No, it was, for me to do Lexington, it was going to end up costing me, just that exact flight was going to end up costing me about $250 more.
Okay.
And I didn't know that $250 was worth
a 45-minute drive?
Correct.
That makes sense. Cutter Boley was announced yesterday as the starter for the season finale with Louisville on Saturday. So I guess that explains a little bit more about the future of Cutter Boley and the future of the quarterback position. I presume that also means no Brock Vandegrift at UK next year. Wouldn't that be a safe deduction?
Probably. But then again, it's so much of this is going to depend. I mean, like Matt Jones did yesterday on KSR, these next 2 weeks of UK football are going to could be wild.
Yeah.
Because if Stoops leaves, then you have no idea. I mean, it could be anything as to what happens with a quarterback position, because you don't know loyalty or lack of loyalty, or is loyalty to the program, is loyalty to the coach. You have no idea.
Heard to me is that one of the most troubling things about missing a bowl is those programs that go to bowl games year in and year out, they get another month of practice to their season. And that's when a lot of player development happens, is in that from the regular season finale until sometimes a bowl game that's not until January the 3rd or January the 4th. And pretty much you can practice all you want once the semester is over. When you add that amount of time, extra time to the season, then you roll right into spring football, then you can really carry some momentum. And now they're going to be idle for an extra 5 weeks that they wouldn't have been anyway had they qualified for the bowl. So there are some less visible problems that exist as a result of missing the bowl game that maybe aren't obvious to people until you start looking at it a little more closely. Then also for tonight's game, we told you Western will play at Rupp Arena there in Lexington. The game is 30 minutes earlier than the normal. It'll actually be a 5:30 tip Central Time. So countdown and everything rolled earlier by 30 minutes, so just be aware of that. If you go looking for it at 6 o'clock, well, you're going to be halfway through the first half by the time you get there. We got to get to a break. We come back. Natalie Curtis from Casa of the Heartland will join us. Going to talk about important CASA work that is going on. Plus, we'll have Thankful Giving Day number 26. Straight ahead, you're on In the Know.
Owensboro Health asks, how are you? Your mental health affects your well-being as much as your physical health. Psychiatrist Dr. Adam Smith helps improve the quality of his patients' lives by treating their crippling depression, anxiety, or other concerns. Find help for your mental health with Dr. Adam Smith at Owensboro Health in Litchfield. Call 270-230-0212 or learn more at owensborohealth.org/Adam Smith.
If you strive for a healthy mind, body, and soul but feel overwhelmed, maybe it's time to talk with someone. Reach out to Fuller Life Counseling Partners. Whether you're seeking individual or couples counseling, family therapy, or substance abuse counseling, Fuller Life Counseling is there to help. Young or old, there are many benefits. Less anxiety and stress, better relationships, increased emotional balance, and more. Heal from within with Fuller Life Counseling in Bowling Green, Glasgow, Litchfield, and Scottsville. Or visit FullerLifeCounseling.org.
Gravel, crushed stone, or lime. No matter your project, Katyville Crushed Stone has the rock you need at unbeatable prices. Our new owners have over 30 years of expertise to guide you through your next project. Whether it's new construction, a driveway, barn, or farm, we've got you covered. Our customer service team is available Monday through Friday, and our delivery team Monday through Saturday for all your rock solutions. Katyville Crushed Stone. Call 270-879-0222.
And now, another chapter of Gifts She'll Actually Love. Brought to you by Pure Aesthetics and Wellness.
Did you know laser hair removal makes a fabulous Christmas gift? And did you also know Pure Aesthetics has Black Friday gift baskets with discounts on Botox and laser packages? Buy $250 in gift cards and give $50 for yourself.
Now you're in the know. Visit pureaesthetics.life or stop by South English Street in Litchfield today.
Thinking about furthering your education? At Elizabethtown Community and Technical College, you'll get a high-quality education close to home at a cost that won't break the bank. Enjoy small class sizes with professors who take a personal interest in your success. Scholarships are still available, making our low tuition even more affordable. ECTC's Litchfield campus is now enrolling for classes that start January 13th. Visit elizabethtown.kctcs.edu to get started. ECTC, College for the Real World.
When the days grow short, Hometown Christmas lights up Litchfield. Join us for Light Up Litchfield, December 6th at 5 p.m. at James D. Bevel City Park. Then, watch the magic spread to Clarkson Community Center and Caneyville Purple Flash Center at 6. On December 7th, the Gingerbread Christmas Parade rolls through at 3:30. Don't miss Shop the Square with over 20 vendors, caroling, and Santa photos. Experience the joy at visitlitchfield.com.
Senator Elizabeth Warren and Congressman Jerry Nadler want the government to investigate the company VeriSign. The two lawmakers contend VeriSign's engaging in predatory pricing of .com web addresses, which are considered prime real estate on the internet. Since the terms were changed in 2018 on what companies could charge for .coms, VeriSign prices have gone up by 30%. The newest entry into the social media sphere, Blue Sky, is exploding, with membership hitting 20 million users since it came on the radar in April. Its CEO is promising not to make the same mistakes other failed or stalled social media sites have made, with the key to the strategy reportedly being to let users decide how the service works. Neuralink, Elon Musk's brain computer chip company, is getting permission to start clinical trials in Canada. The idea of Neuralink is to help paralyzed people control devices with their thoughts. The company says the Canadian trials will focus on looking at the safety and effectiveness of the chip in quadriplegics. Tech Report, Tammy Trujillo, NBC News Radio.
Today is Good Grief Day. It's because Charlie Brown premiered this date in 1922. It's Cake Day today. You made 2 cakes already this morning?
2 this morning.
Yeah, 2. It's also Heath Day to celebrate guys or people named Heath. And a heath is an area of uncultivated land. I had no idea what a heath was until this morning. Heath bar sounds fine. And a Heath bar cake sounds okay too. Today is day number 26 of Thankful Giving. What are we adding to the basket for today?
Today's paper towels suggest, a 2-pack of paper towels. I guess if you want to do more, they would be happy to have more paper towels.
You got to clean up, right?
Yeah,
That's
you
after you have all this
Mm-hmm.
food. It's also the day we say good morning and welcome to Natalie Curtis from Casa of the Heartland. Good morning, Natalie. Welcome.
Hey, good morning, Mark. Appreciate you having me today.
Yeah, it's good to see you. How long have you been with Casa?
Oh, gosh, I'm working on 9 years now.
Wow.
So a lot of changes in those 9 years happening for CASA.
Well, and I understand, I think I have pieced together through my sleuthing that you've had kind of a recent role evolution or at least a title change. Are you now the Director of Operations?
Director of Operations. So when I get asked what that means, it's just kind of the doer of all things. Wherever someone needs me, I'm there. I'll figure it out. So kind of the jack of all trades, if you will.
I know until recently you were, I think you had a couple of different titles, but one of them was like an advocate coordinator. And since advocacy is in the title of your organization, I would presume no matter what your role is within CASA, everyone is dealing with the advocates in some way.
Absolutely. So primarily CASA, which is Court-Appointed Special Advocates, if someone's not aware, we advocate for children in the court system due to abuse, neglect, or dependency. So right now we're serving in Hardin, LaRue, and we just added on Grayson, Meade, and Breckinridge counties. So we are very busy around here in court 4 days a week to make sure these kiddos have what they need in their lives because they've been through a lot of traumatic changes. So we just want to make sure that we have that one constant person there to support them through those big changes in their lives.
You know, we talked with Michelle a couple of months ago, I think, and we shared a little bit about the news of the migration, or I guess the melding, if you will, from Tri-County CASA into the more regional CASA of the Heartland. You being from Grayson County, or at least living in Grayson County, how did you feel about that being absorbed into the community in which you live now, being involved in your professional life directly?
Yeah, well, one, I was very excited. So if no one's aware, there was a CASA program previously serving Grayson County. They decided to dissolve, so they also had Breckinridge and Meade. And we thought we just don't want to let these counties not have a CASA program. We didn't want to let these children go unserved because, like I said, they have many needs that sometimes get swept under the rug or someone doesn't see. So I was very excited that we were able to pick up those counties and continue to serve these kiddos.
Well, and I think, you know, we had a story last week about Litchfield building a new water treatment plant, and one thing we learned out of that was they're going to more of a regional type setup where instead of every community having their own little facility, because we zip up and down the road so much and because of internet and the way that area without things falling through the cracks. And I would presume that you get a lot of synergies and economies of scale when you have a bigger organization serving more counties. You probably get better results because you have more resources.
Absolutely. And we fall under what is called our state organization, which is the Kentucky CASA Network, which they are moving to that more regional model for one, to open up those resources. So we're primarily funded by grants, fundraising, donations. So being able to be in those counties kind of opens us up to building more relationships within our community to make sure these kiddos continue to be served, because unfortunately it does take funding to be able to do what we do. It takes staff, our manpower, and most importantly, our volunteers who, are community members who just have a heart for children and they want to help out in any way we can. So really it takes all of our communities together, all 5 counties, and all of our volunteers to make this happen.
Was it, I presume I know the answer, but you can share a little bit about it. Does it make your work a little more rewarding when you know you're having a direct impact in the community that you live?
Oh, definitely. Yes. I mean, I serve kiddos myself as a CASA volunteer. I may not directly serve in Grayson County, but just being able to make the difference and see what a volunteer actually does day to day to make a difference in a child's life, whether, it's making sure they have, Christmas pajamas or a winter coat, or maybe something on a larger scale, reunifying with their parents because maybe they had an issue that they had to overcome, or seeing a kiddo get adopted, being able to see that firsthand in whatever county I'm in, being able to see these volunteers do what they do on a day-to-day basis, it's very rewarding, and it's a blessing to be able to know that we have, I believe this year, 95 volunteers have served in our 5 counties. Wow. And then 260 children served out of those 95 people who just want to make a difference. I think that's what makes us come to work every day, because like all of us, we may have a bad day, but just knowing that we can make a difference in just one child's life, it makes all the difference.
As an aside to that, I think last Friday we commented that, I think it was last Saturday, one day last week, it was National Adoption Day, and Jefferson County had lined up a slew of them, and so they, as a ceremony and symbolism of National Adoption Day. But we commented that when you see the photographs with the judges, with the new families after the gotcha moment, that has to be the best job that a judge has, being able to do that and be able to share in that moment with the families. I would presume there are maybe not the same, but similar types of victories for CASA members, for advocates, because you really get to see the direct good impact that you can have.
Absolutely. And one of my favorite stories that one of our volunteers tell, and I think this kiddo's case has been closed, but anyways, she went to the child's school just to have lunch with him, and she sat down with him, and the kiddo's friends were asking, "Hey, who's this? Who's this?" And she kind of sat there, and the child said, "That's my CASA. She works for me." So just like the little stories like that, just one showing up and being there for them, but knowing that we work for them, we're their voice when the system is full of adults, trying to make decisions for them. It's CASA's responsibility to let the court know, hey, this is what the child wants. Right. We work for them.
Well, it's nice to know that message is even being heard by a young child, because oftentimes, you think adults know everything, and adults carry more favor, they get the special treatment, et cetera, because you're an adult. But it's nice for children to hear that there are some adults that are out there just specifically to champion and to advocate for them. We're rolling up into a holiday season, and Thursday specifically, we kick off the giving of thanks for all of the blessings that we have. We go through Black Friday and then Small Business Saturday and then Cyber Monday. But I happen to know that Tuesday has been designated as Giving Tuesday. It typically is this time of year. I would think that there are multiple ways one could give to Casa of the Heartland. One is financially. If you got a charity that you like to support or would like to support, a financial contribution, I'm sure, is accepted. But specifically, Natalie, I know one of the things you advocate for is the giving of one's time and effort. And so to kind of talk us through a little bit, as I'm looking at New Year's, or I'm rededicating myself to things, or I'm making resolutions, and I say, I want to make an impact. This CASA idea sounds like a great idea. What's going to be involved on my end? What level of commitment is going to be asked of me?
Absolutely. So I'll just start by saying we keep an average, unfortunately, of about 50 children on our wait list at any given time. So that's simply because we don't have enough volunteers or manpower to fill that need. But as a volunteer, like I said, you're serving as the voice for that child. So first, what we do, we go through an interview, make sure background checks come back good, and then we'll go through a training process. Krista Brangers is our trainer here at CASA. She likes to work with our advocates and our volunteers to fit their schedule, because we know people are busy, especially this time of year. So once you get that training finished, we assign you to a child. It could be a child or sibling group, and you're dedicated to that child as their case goes throughout the system. So you'll be meeting with them on a regular basis, getting to know them, their likes, their strengths, and then you report all of your findings to the family court judge or the judge that in a county that you may be in. And when you do that, you get to make recommendations based on that information that you gathered. So one, you ensure the voice of the child is heard, and then two, you ensure the children's needs are focused on. And again, that advocate remains with that child throughout their case. So if they happen to change homes, schools, therapists, medical providers, again, that CASA volunteer is going to be that one consistent person that remains with them through those changes.
Yeah, and you get to see the peaks and the valleys. You get to see, as I mentioned, the rewards when things happen that are good for a child. You get to celebrate in those things, and so I would imagine there's some level of attachment that forms as a result.
Absolutely. And some of the concerns that an advocate may have is getting that emotional attachment to a child.
Sure.
And it's hard to say that you won't have an emotional attachment to a child because, one, you care about that kiddo and where they're going. And again, you want to make sure they're safe and have what they need. So we definitely understand there may be concerns, but again, the reward, getting to know that child and getting to know that you've made maybe a little bit of difference in their life, that you can change the trajectory of their life and their story.
Yeah. So, you would like to do it to a level where it's never needed again. Like you would like for programs to be so successful that we never find ourselves in a position where children need advocates in a court setting. But unfortunately, that day is not today. So volunteers are needed. As you mentioned, there's a training program involved. Will there be a training opportunity before the end of the year? Is there a training opportunity in December?
Absolutely. So we used to schedule them out for the year, but since we have our trainer Krista now, she works with that volunteer and schedules training at any time. So if you were to contact her tomorrow, she'd get you started as soon as possible.
Okay.
Because like you said, the need doesn't stop. So we want to make sure we work with our volunteers' schedules as best as possible, get you through training, and then get you assigned to that child.
So let's say you've made a very compelling plea to a person and they say, it sounds like my help is needed and I'm ready to step forward. What's my first step? What do I do?
Yeah, first step, just give us a call at 270-982-2274. And we'd love to sit down and talk with you, especially if you have questions or if you're just ready to jump right into training. Or you can also visit our website at casaheartland.org. We have our volunteer application up there to fill out.
Great information. Always a blessing to try and help with CASA and championing the mission and the work being Thanksgiving. From Casa of the Heartland. Got to get to a break. Today's Did You Know coming right up here on In the Know.
Wilson and Muir Bank reminds those of us who enjoy gathering with family to give thanks that the food on our table is due to the hard work of farmers everywhere. Join Wilson and Muir Bank at the main branch on November 27th from 11 to 1 for the annual Salute to the American Farmer. Wilson and your customers can enjoy a free lunch prepared by the Grayson County Cattlemen's Association and learn more about the importance of farmers to each of our families. The annual Salute to the American Farmer, November 27th, from Wilson and Muir Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Buckle up, phone down. Buckle up, put your phone down, yeah, yeah. Buckle up, phone down. Buckle up, put your phone down, yeah, yeah. Buckle up, phone down. Buckle up, put your phone down, yeah, yeah. Buckle up, phone down. Buckle up, put your phone down. Ooh.
Be safe, Kentucky. Buckle up and put the phone down.
Brought to you by Team Kentucky and the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety.
You're listening to the voice of the future, a voice that needs someone like you.
Hi, I'm Savannah. When I was 13, I entered foster care. It was scary and confusing until I met my CASA volunteer, Cindy.
I'm Cindy, and as a CASA volunteer, I got to know Savannah, stand up for her in court, and ensure she had the support she needed. It was one of the most rewarding experiences of my life.
Cindy was my rock. She listened to me, believed in me, and fought for my best interest. Thanks to her, I felt seen and heard.
Being a CASA volunteer isn't always easy, but knowing I made a difference in Savannah's life made it all worth it, and every child deserves a chance to thrive.
Because of Cindy, I have a brighter future. You can be the light for another child.
CASA of the Heartland is looking for volunteers just like Cindy. The children in our community need someone to be their voice. You can help change a child's story. Visit CASAHeartland.org or call 270-982-2274 to learn more. Be the difference. Be a CASA volunteer.
On the basketball court, you have to know where the lines are. It's just as important to know where the lines are in your own yard. Kentucky law generally requires you to have underground utility lines located before most excavation work, even if it's on your own property. If you don't call 811 and you damage a natural gas line, the Kentucky Public Service Commission will investigate you and you may be fined up to $1,250. Much better to stay within the bounds of the law and call before you dig to start putting in that backboard or goalpost. For more information, visit psc.ky.gov. This message brought to you by the Kentucky Public Service Commission.
K105 weather from the Wave Storm Tracking Team is brought to you by Smith Overhead Door, sohd.info.
Twin Lakes weather! Sunny this afternoon with highs in the 40s for most of us. Once we head into tomorrow, cloudy skies overhead, highs in the upper 40s and the low 50s. Now, once we get into your Wednesday night and then Thursday morning, we will see some showers across the region. From the Wave News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Tawana Andrew.
It's up to us to be the change, and even though we all can still do more, there's so much to be thankful.
Today's Did You Know is brought to you by Pure Aesthetics and Wellness on South English Street in Litchfield. Reminder, they've got their Black Friday gift baskets already assembled. They are ready for you to buy on Friday. And remember, their gift card special. Buy $250 in gift cards, and you'll get a $50 card for yourself. Book those or your transformation at pureaesthetics.life. I have it on good authority. Miss Buckles got to be on the Dance Dance Revolution machine yesterday.
Yes, it was so funny.
Yeah?
Yes, it was fun. I think you all will probably get to see some footage at some point of it. I think she videoed it. Also did some IV therapy yesterday just to boost my immune system and my energy level with some B12. So yeah, I did a little laser. So yeah, we have a lot to talk about when she comes back.
That's very smart too, because you're getting ready to be around a whole bunch sea of humanity people. So if you can boost your immune system in a in a natural way.
And some people are scared of the IV part, but those are also available in shot form.
Okay.
So if you want that little boost, I think they're only like $35.
Mm-hmm. Great. Did you know demure has been chosen as the word of the year by dictionary.com? Cambridge last week said, the Cambridge Dictionary said it was manifest, and dictionary.com has chosen demure, which is characterized by shyness and modesty and reserved.
Okay.
That was a meme over the summer, I
Demurity
think.
seems to be. It was?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, it says that it's something about the TikTok. Jules LeBron, was the viral person who went that. So demure seems to be harder to find these days. Also, did you know Shabuzi is officially tied for the longest running #1 single of all time with Tipsy? And as soon as I read the headline, I said they had to have tied with Old Town Road. And Lil Nas X Old Town Road is now tied with Shabuzi for 19 weeks at #1. Theirs was with Billy Ray was 5
See, I
days.
was gonna think would be a Taylor Swift song, but that's probably the thing with the Taylor Swift songs is there's so many that they just keep rotating through that they probably can never make it that high.
One chases the other off the chart in a lot of cases. She'll be up there #1 for a few weeks. Here comes the other one and dethrones, and so they don't get it. They get
So
a
it
lot
almost
of
has to be a one-hit
consecutive-
wonder.
Yeah, exactly. You kind of get you get longevity at the top of the charts, but you don't get any consistency at the #1 spot. The Billboard Music Award finalists are out. Top artist, Zach Bryan, Sabrina Carpenter, Drake, Taylor Swift, and Morgan Wallen. Top new artists, Benson Boone, Tommy Rickman, Chappell Roan, Shabuzi, Teddy Swims. Top male artists, Zach Bryan, Luke Combs, Drake, Post Malone, Morgan Wallen. Top female artist nominees, Sabrina Carpenter, Billie Eilish, Chappell Roan, Taylor Swift, and SZA. I did learn that that Hot to Go song by Chappell Roan because they did a spoof of it on SNL a couple of weeks ago. They were doing the HOTTOGO deal, and I was like, where'd that come from? Come to find out, that's a Chappell Roan song.
Okay.
See, Sam, I'm young and hip. I am young and hip.
Why don't you tell Leia that?
Oh, yeah.
Well, okay.
See what she thinks.
apparently- Yeah, I'll get the roll eyes. Liam Payne died apparently trying to escape his hotel via a balcony.
She called him pretty the other day.
She did call me pretty, didn't she? Liam Payne apparently liked when he felt trapped in a room. He would typically use the fire escape, or he would use balconies as a fire escape to leave his room. And they said investigators found a leather bag, like a small suitcase or a man bag or whatever, on the balcony below where he fell to his death. That would have been, I think, the second floor or the first floor. He only fell from like the third floor, but he died as a result. So it sounds like it was an accident as much as anything, but an accident by taking an unnecessary chance, it sounds like, because if you're going hanging off the sides of balconies, you're probably just asking for trouble. I shared this news off the air yesterday, but here's a full-blown story. 25 years after opening, the Rock and Roller Coaster at Disney's Hollywood Studios is getting rethemed. Aerosmith coming off, Muppets going on. But the beauty of it is going to be, and there has been long speculation, was that they would go to a variety of musical acts and musical soundtracks. The great thing about it is the retheming is going to be minimal to introduce the Muppets, because they've already got the cars, they've already got the big guitar on the outside of the building, and you'll have other artists come up. They're doing that in other new attractions as well, where it's a different experience each time you go on it. You might get a different song, you might get a different. So the Muppets are moving from one side of the Hollywood Studios to the other, because their Muppet 3D vision is going away to make way for the new Monsters University or Monsters Land that's going on at Hollywood Studios. Lilo and Stitch teaser. Speaking of, telling Alea, the new live-action version of Lilo and Stitch, the trailer is out.
I tried to send it to her. I think I'm going to have to send it to Mama Carla.
Okay.
It was only about 30 seconds long. I watched it when you sent it this morning. So it's really it's not a lot. It's just, I mean, like, if you don't want a spoiler, but it's Stitch just destroying a sandcastle.
Yeah, okay.
I had never watched Lilo and Stitch until the last year. And it's because of her. I sat down. I've never seen it, so we sat down and watched it.
It's a good one.
Yeah,
it is.
It's
my little brother especially. I mean, that was right on his, like, I was a little bit before that, but because my little brother's about Anna's age, so it was in that realm of, and the TV show Oh, I probably saw every episode of that show at least 25 times.
We have to. I don't know about 25 times on that one because, we compete with Bluey, but yeah.
The top 10 most Googled Christmas movies, you'll not be surprised to know Home Alone at 4 million average monthly search, The Grinch at 2, Elf at 3 at 2.7 million, Christmas Vacation at 4, Die Hard, It's a Wonderful Life, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, The Santa Claus, White Christmas, then Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Keep the change, you filthy animal. The Nutty Professor texted me yesterday, and he said he was shocked that the Griswold house did not make it on the houses that we were talking about, the most famous Christmas houses and what they were valued at. And I commented, well, especially the property appreciated in value when he added the pool. I mean, adding the pool alone added a lot of value to the house. So I don't know what's going on there. And then it's safe to assume we're all sitting around with bated breath waiting to find out what Diddy is going to have for Thanksgiving dinner in jail. Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. That's what P. Diddy is having in jail for Thanksgiving. I know everybody was waiting to find out. Now you can rest at ease. Thanksgiving is saved. We got to get to a break. We'll come back, finish it up for the morning here on In the Know.
Now thanks a million thanks to you for everything that
Thanksgiving is one of our nation's great traditions. Before America was even founded, the Pilgrims expressed gratitude to God for his many blessings, even when life was hard. And life was hard. The Pilgrims' voyage across the Atlantic Ocean took 65 days in cold, miserable conditions. Many of them became ill, and one person died before the Mayflower reached Plymouth in November of 1620. Less than half of the Pilgrims survived that first winter. Despite their adversity, their governor, William Bradford, proclaimed a day of thanksgiving for God's grace and provision. In 1863, President Lincoln also called for a day of thanksgiving in the midst of difficult times. He and his wife Mary were mourning the recent death of their 11-year-old son Willie, and the country was embroiled in a bloody civil war. Yet Lincoln declared the last Thursday of November of that year as a day of thanksgiving and prayer. Maybe you're going through hard times this Thanksgiving. You've had a tough year, sickness, financial problems, an empty chair where a beloved family member used to sit. It's not easy to be thankful when life seems so dark, but it's in the midst of difficulty that thankfulness is most profound and most healing. As Dr. Tim Keller says, it's one thing to be grateful. It's another thing to give thanks. Gratitude is what you feel. Thanksgiving is what you do. For Focus on the Family, I'm Jim Daly.
The words you are about to hear are taken from letters sent in by members of the Trinity Debt Management Program.
Dear Trinity, today I'm making my final credit card payment.
Before I came to you, I was in a constant state of anxiety and panic, but now there is hope for my family's financial future.
Working with Trinity made me understand that I'm not alone.
You really do help people.
Your kindness will never be forgotten. Without Trinity's support, I would not have achieved my lifelong goal of becoming debt-free.
We saved a lot on interest and penalties, of course, but the reward was the gift of human kindness.
Trinity has carried me through a very difficult time in my life. You're amazing.
I used to feel so anxious and hopeless. Now I feel grace and peace.
God bless Trinity as you continue to help others become debt-free.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976.
Hey, it's Joshua Horton, Public Health Director here at the Grayson County Health Department. It's almost my favorite time of the year, Thanksgiving and Christmas, and we don't want you to give a gift that you did not intend on giving. That's why it's so important that we get vaccinated, not only to protect ourselves, but to protect those around us. At Grayson County Health Department, we are committed to keeping our community safe. Our walk-in vaccination clinics offer both COVID-19 and flu vaccines Monday through Thursday, 9 to 11 and 1 to 3. Visit us at 124 East White Oak Street here in Litchfield, or for more information, check out our website at myhealthdepartment.org. Grayson County Health Department. Together we are better.
When the days grow short, Hometown Christmas lights up Litchfield. Join us for Light Up Litchfield, December 6th at 5 p.m. at James D. Bevel City Park. Then, watch the magic spread to Clarkson Community Center and Caneyville Purple Flash Center at 6. On December 7th, the Gingerbread Christmas Parade rolls through at 3:30. Don't miss Shop the Square with over 20 vendors. Carolyn and Seneca Photos. Experience the joy at visitlitchfield.com.
You should know I love everything about you, don't you know that I'm thankful for the blessings and the lessons that I learned with you by my side, that I'm thankful for the love that you keep bringing in my life.
MB's Point to Ponder is brought to you by Litchfield Funeral Home, providing Grayson County with compassionate, professional funeral, cremation, and pre-need services. Litchfield Funeral Home, celebrating life, one family at a time. Call 259-4566 or visit litchfieldfh.com. Why do toasters have a selection above 5?
I don't know what you're doing.
I mean, we're trying to get it down to 2. You know,
One at
it starts at 5. I'll go to 2. Alea wants to go to 1. 6 through 10. Is that not just a waste?
I don't know what you're doing.
Is that for Pop-Tarts? What do you need? What do you need 9 for?
Well,
you do
so
something
even-
frozen?
Well, so that's what I was going to say. The frozen French toast sticks, they tell you to start out at the lowest setting, do that one round, which is 1
On the toaster?
on the toaster,
Okay.
and then let that pop up, and then it will normally require one more time on the lowest setting. It doesn't say do setting the second setting or the middle setting.
So it's
or,
really not toasting them. It's just warming them,
It's just-
isn't it?
yes.
You could do the same thing in the microwave.
I don't know.
Sam, what's your toaster number? I think, by the way, when you're like when you meet someone new and you're thinking, okay, we might start dating. Maybe this is going to turn into something. I think that's important to find out their toaster number.
For me, I don't even know the numbers on my toaster. I just know like it's usually about noon is what I put it at.
Okay, so you'd be a 5. That's what I would.
What color do you like your toast?
Oh gosh, I mean, I'll make a bagel is more what I'll make in there, and
Okay.
and see, so that takes a little bit longer than toast, anyways, because it's a thicker piece of bread.
Takes a little more oomph. It
Yeah.
does take a little more oomph.
I don't like it burnt. I mean,
Mark likes his a little bit more toasted than I care for.
like the color of what a toasted marshmallow should look like.
Well, that's also,
I don't want it to look black at all. Doesn't he? If it
I don't want it to be
If
burnt.
it's more than brown, if there's any hint of black, we've gone too
But
far.
I don't want it to be
Brown
raw.
Oh yeah, no, without a doubt. Alea doesn't. What Alea eats is not technically toast. It's basically stale bread with butter on it, warmed up. On TV tonight, Murder in a Small Town on Fox, the season 1 finale. The Voice is on NBC. And on ABC, the season 33 finale of Dancing with People You May or May Not Have Heard of. It's certainly not stars any longer. They burned through all their stars a long time ago. Today's highlight in history, this date in 2008, teams of heavily armed militants from the terrorist group Lashkar-e-Taiba stormed luxury hotels in Mumbai, India, leaving at least 175 people dead. Birthdays today, impressionist Rich Little is 86. John McVie of Fleetwood Mac is 79. Dale Jarrett, the NASCAR Hall of Famer, is 68. DJ Khaled is 49. Natasha Bedingfield is 43. Rita Ora is 34. Gone but not forgotten, Bat Masterson, the Old West lawman, was born in 1853. Charles Schultz, the Peanuts creator, not only did he give birth to Charlie Brown on his birthday, or at least Charlie Brown was released. He was born this date in 1922. Robert Goulet in 1933. Tina Turner was born this date in 1939. Oh, Annie Bullock. Or Bullock, depending upon how you pronounce it. Let's go to Chart Toppers. 1958.
One night with you
EAP.
is what I'm now praying for.
Thank you, Elvis. Let's go to... they did a special on Sunday morning about sandwiches. All the various types of sandwiches and famous sandwiches and who made them famous. Of course, they talked about Elvis's peanut butter banana sandwiches. The Monkees were number 1 this date in 1967 with Daydream Believer. Let's try to get to the chorus.
Cheer up, sleepy Jean. Oh, what can it be to us?
let's go forward to 1976. Gordon
Ooh, good
Lightfoot,
one.
number one. The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Sing it, Gordon.
The legend lives on from the Chippewa on down to the big lake they call Gitchagumi.
Thank you very much, Gitchagumi. Let's go to... We Built This City, Starship, number one in 85. This is my favorite version of this song because it's got the DJ in it.
Listen, I feel like I'm sitting in the back of the car with my aunt
Sure.
at the minute Martin
Here we go.
Brownsville.
The city that rocks. The city that never stops. Shaking the lakes and rocking the docks. Let's go to 1994. Here comes the hot stepper.
I don't even really like this, but you can't help
can't
it.
not.
Move. Yeah.
Here comes the hot stepper. Roll it up. It's in my top 10 favorite reggae songs.
Oh, well, yeah.
Easily. Let's go to 2003. Outkast, number one. Hey Ya. Okay, I gotta hurry through because I get these other two in. Let's go to 2012. Rihanna and Diamonds.
Shine bright like a diamond. Fine light in the beautiful sea. I chose to.
That's a good song. Let's go to 3 years ago today. Adele, Easy on Me. The second most famous Adele on the show. I saw the first most famous commented earlier, Sam, but I couldn't tell what she said.
I couldn't see it either.
She was saying she's a fan of Lilo and Stitch.
She's a fan of what?
Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, Lilo and Stitch. Yeah, it's hard not to be. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today says, nothing is a waste of time if you use the experience wisely. Nothing is a waste of time if you use the experience wisely. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know, and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for another edition of our show. For Sam Gormley, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
Powering through the Twin Lakes with the best mix of music, news, weather, and fun. If it's in the Twin Lakes, it's on K